Now, it is winter, which means that your bathroom or your kitchen may be getting a bit of mould building up around the edges. A little bit gross, we know, but it's Therapy Thursday, and that's why we're talking all things mould. And we're going to speak to someone who will hopefully give you some great tips on how to get rid of it. And joining us this morning is Dr. Heike Neumeister-Kemp, otherwise known as the Mould Lady. Good morning, Doctor. How are you?
Good morning. I'm fine, thank you.
Now, thanks for joining us this morning. Can you tell us, first of all, what actually causes mould and why does it only seem to come out in winter?
Okay, what causes mold is there is moisture. Wherever we have moisture and there's plenty of nutrients, the mold can grow. Now, in winter months, in many houses, we have colder conditions because not everybody can afford to heat, or based on how our houses are constructed. Normally, during the night, the house is cold and we have condensation. And the condensation leads eventually to enough moisture on surface materials so the mold can then grow. And that's why in the winter months, we can often see it more than in summer months. But don't be fooled. In summer, if we put our air conditioning on and we have one room hot and another one cold, you can still have moisture.
Right.
And also, if you have broken pipes or your box gutters are overflowing, you have not enough ventilation. There's many causes and reasons why the mold can grow, but there's always somewhere a moisture source.
So how do you treat this mold that's growing in our homes?
Well, it very much depends on how much you have. The first most important thing is that you fix the underlying cause, which is fix the broken pipe, make sure no more moisture comes in. If you have condensation, have adequate heating, and make sure you have enough ventilation. If you then actually have mold growth, it's very important to be very well aware that that mold can do possible health effects to you. So if it is just a tiny little area, you can fix that yourself. If it is roughly bigger than your hand, you might want to call in a professional.
Now, it's a big misconception that bleach can get rid of mould. Why doesn't this work, and what's the best way to get to shift surface mould?
Okay, as a bleach bleaches, it takes the color out of the fungi. The fungi has melanin, like you and me, in our skin for sun tanning. And the bleach takes that color out and it looks like you got rid of it, but the actual mold is still there. So a much better way would be to actually kill the mold and physically remove it. And you can do that with a vinegar solution or with an alcohol solution and microfiber. But as I said, you need to be careful. If you have half a wall or a bigger area, really somebody should just HEPA vacuum it first, get rid of all the spores, and then do a proper, what we say, mold remediation. Because the problem with mold is once you see it, that is only the end stage, but you have a lot of mold in and around that area where it now becomes visible, because the bigger part of the fungi is not visible to the naked eye.
Now, I love this, and I can hear in the sound of your voice you're very passionate about getting rid of mold. Tell us a bit about where that passion stems from, Doctor.
Oh, the passion came from that originally I worked in hospitals in epidemiology, infection control, and I had to look after the cleanliness of operation theaters. And we could find that sometimes if it was wrongly installed, it would come out of the air conditioning, that we constantly had mold on our cooling coils in the air conditioning system. And that's where we started to find techniques how to identify, do we have mold, how much do we have, and then, of course, how do we get rid of it? And technology has come a long way, and because I'm passionate, we then wrote an Australian mold guideline, Australian Mold Workers Handbook, to get information out there and to empower people to do something about it.
Oh, fantastic. Dr. Heike Neumeister-Kemp, mycologist for MycoLab. Thanks for joining us this morning, sharing your knowledge about mould.
You're most welcome.
Fantastic.
There you go. It's all about the vinegar.
Yeah,
Not
I know.
about the bleach.
I
It's
know.
all
I've
about
tried the
vinegar.
bleach, and now I know how to put a little bit growing in the
And
bathroom.
how much cheaper is vinegar than bleach
Yeah,
too?
good work.
Oh,
See, the
look,
things you
feeling
learn.
informed on Therapy Thursday. It's 20 minutes to 8. You're hanging out with Polly and Morrow right here on 98.5.
20 past 7 it is.
Oh, there you go. That'll do too.